Hi, welcome to Ballmasters Football. We're back again with another video. Today we'll be discussing the Premier League Big Six, episode 9. The first team we're going to be discussing is Liverpool. Again, 1-2-0. It wasn't the Liverpool as we're accustomed to seeing, but nonetheless, it's obviously 3 points. I think they'll definitely go through to the knockout stages. I just still feel that it wasn't a blitzing Liverpool performance, but I think at this present moment in time, 3 points is 3 points. So, that's a good result for them. My question will be, how are they going to perform in the Premier League? Because I know they're doing really well in the Champions League, but it's just the league is where they're kind of shaky. So I really want to see how they get on against Arsenal. I know Arsenal are going to be again same. I'm hoping that they'll be playing the same way against Liverpool, where they're going to be harassing their back four, their midfield, pressing, closing down, and I also want to see how they're able to deal with it. I think obviously Rangers is a different type of pressure, where it could be a bit more laid back, which I think in that game was quite comfortable for Liverpool. But I would like to see how they get on in that game. I think that at this present moment in time, I don't know what has made them so shaky defensively, because it's more or less the same team Klopp's had for many a years. Trent. You've got Van Dijk, you've got Robinson. And it's just for me. There should obviously the goalkeeper as well, so there should be a little bit more, chemistry between the defence. You could even argue, say, even the midfield as well, because they're quite consistent. It's not really a major changes that Klopp makes in these teams, so I'm a little bit surprised in terms of mistakes that they're making defensively. But nonetheless, again, I'll give my predictions on how that game's going to go against against Arsenal, at the Emirates. But yeah, I'm not really convinced, even though they beat Rangers in the Champions League. I just still feel there needs to be a little bit more from them in the coming weeks for me to go, yeah, Liverpool's back. The next team we're going to be discussing is Chelsea. I thought it was a narrow win against Palace. I thought Palace should have at least got something in that game. Obviously Thiago Silva didn't really have what we should have went off, but they got the 3 points. Conor Gallagher's goal was absolutely amazing. And then they got the Champions League game against AC Milan and they won 3-0. So Aubameyang scored as well, and he started to get on the score sheet again, which I did say when they did sign him towards the end of the transfer window, that he was going to be a good signing. I think with a bit of time, I think Graham Potter as well I thought the team played really well, Chelsea, against AC Milan, and I think it's a building block in terms of for Graham Potter, and getting results, and at the same time getting to know the players at his disposal, and as well the players getting to know Graham and his playing style. And I thought it was a great game. I felt that where obviously Chelsea's had the shaky start, there now seems to be a little bit more resilience in their defensive work, where they seem a bit more solid. I know Fofana went off. I thought he was quite good in defence. I think Reece James obviously got man of the match in that game. He's done really, really well as well defensively for Chelsea. So, and as well, they kept a clean sheet, which is, for any team, keeping a clean sheet is a great achievement. So, I could see them really kicking on. In terms of winning the league, getting top four, that is going to be. In terms of winning the league, I think it's out of the question. In terms of top four, however, it's something that they could possibly try to challenge towards the end of the season. But so far, they're on the right track at this present moment in time. Man City, which is a team that at the moment, as they're really on a nice run at the minute. Again, they won 5-0. Apologies. 5-0 against Copenhagen in the Champions League. Not only that, they won 6-3 against Manchester United. So again, there are a lot of positives to take away from the game for them. I know for Pep, Haaland scored 2 goals as well. So at the present moment in time, I feel that they're really on they're cruising at this present moment in time. I don't think they've ever had any form of pressure where they've had to really worry in games. I think the maybe one that you could maybe say was against Villa, where that game drew. I think they drew the game 1-1, I believe it was. So again, I think it's going to take a real good team to stop them. I think the question now, and I don't know whether I'm answering it prematurely to you guys, is do you think that they're going to finish the league undefeated? That is something that is a possibility. I think at this present moment in time, the way that they're running away with the league, especially with the strike force that they've got, Alves got on the score sheet as well. Quite like him. I would like to see more of him in the Premier League. I think at the moment Haaland's just that good, he's undroppable. So I would like to see him feature at some point this season, because I think he looks really good for Man City. So I would like to see more of him as well, feature for City. I'm not sure in terms of how they will get on in the Champions League. Sorry, I'm not really sure whether it's going to be a straight, simple, they're going to run away with it, they're going to win Champions League, the treble or quadruple. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, and I think there's going to be some really good teams in this year's Champions League. So I think it's still up for debate in terms of who's going to win the Champions League. But I think for the Premier League, I think City are definitely there or thereabouts in terms of it could be a close one, but I very much doubt. I think City's to lose. Tottenham, again, they're a little bit of a shaky one. I know that they've lost their first game against Arsenal. It was a very poor performance from them. And then, they drew 0-0 against Frankfurt, which is a very boring game, in my opinion. I'm not really sure what Conte needs to do, because I know they've spent in the summer. I know they've brought some really good players in the summer. So I'm not really sure in terms of if they've got a little dip. I did say in numerous shows that Tottenham don't really seem to be on the front foot when they play teams. It seems to be taking them a while to get going, or it takes them to concede a goal to then get going. So I feel, in my opinion, I think that they need to start on the front foot and really go at teams from the off. I think they have got the team capable of doing that. They've got, the front three, or their front three, I should say, with either Kulusevski or Richarlison. I think those front three are fantastic. I think the speed from the fullbacks as well makes them a dangerous counter-attacking team. But I just feel that at this present moment in time, they're in a little bit of a rut at the minute. And I think once they get their form back, I still feel that they'll be there or thereabouts for the top 4. But at this present moment in time, I'm intrigued to see how they get on. But again, I'll give you my predictions on how they will get on in the predictions on the next episode. Arsenal, obviously, they're a team that's playing today. Great result against Spurs. Xhaka played amazing. Partey, again, amazing as well. The question what I would like to see is Eddie get a chance in this Europa League game. I know the team isn't that strong in terms of who we're playing against, but I still feel that we could maybe feature some of the weaker players like the Cedrics, maybe Holding, possibly Eddie, and give some of those kids, some game time, to where they're able to feel that they're contributing, because I know that they may be called upon at some point during the course of the season. So I think Arteta will make some changes. I don't know whether he'll make a whole heap of changes, but I think he'll make some players rest, because we've got the game against Liverpool. So I don't think it's worth risking playing Jesus and a few others that are going to feature against Liverpool. I'd rather just rest them and then have them fresh for the game against Liverpool on Sunday. But again, I think, if I'm being honest, Arsenal so far have surprised me. I know that they spent quite a bit in this transfer window, and I know Lata the previous year. And I just feel that at this present moment in time, Arteta has really got the boys playing. I'm really pleased and really happy for all Arsenal fans, 'cause I know that they've all been, disappointed in recent years. But I feel that Arteta has really got the boys playing, and they all seem to be playing for each other. I know when one person makes a mistake, there's always going to be someone that's going to be behind him. The Emirates, the way the fans were in that game against Tottenham last week, I've never seen us in that sort of way where, everyone usually says, compares the Emirates to a library. But you could see, we were definitely the 12th man in that stadium. And I was very, very impressed with the substitutions that Arteta made as well in that game. I think I would like to see more of Vieira. I know this Tottenham game, I don't think it was a game for him to play in that game so soon after playing against Brentford. Had had a really good game, and then to play him in that game against Tottenham, I think would have been too much. So I think he'd done the right call. I think today will be an ideal time to possibly play Vieira again, and then maybe depending on how the Liverpool game goes, maybe we can have him feature in that game. I definitely wouldn't start him, but I think I would keep the same team as we played against Tottenham. I'll keep the exact same team because I thought they were all amazing. I thought Ben White and Saka on the right, I think they have got a really good little link up there, and I really want to see how that flourishes. I think Tomiyasu, I know he hasn't featured since Ben White's kept him out. I would like to see him play today as well. So, I think there's a lot of shifting and moving in the game today. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that develops. I can't see us losing that game, but it's Arsenal we're talking about. But we should have enough to win the game. The last team is Manchester United. They're a bit of a funny one because at the end they've beat Liverpool, they beat Arsenal, and they were just on the rise, and then all of a sudden, I think they drew a game in the Europa League, or they lost, and since then it just kind of went down a little bit. So I think they just need to find the consistency. Casemiro hasn't played. I'm surprised he hasn't started. I don't know if he's injured. I haven't done really much research on him, but he should be featuring. He didn't feature in the Man City game, which I felt would have been ideal to play him in that game. But, I think he should be starting the games. And then at least then you could give Eriksen an opportunity to play further forward instead of playing as a DM. I think one player who really impressed me in that game against City was Martial when he came on, when he featured. I thought he had a really good game. I thought he took his penalty well. Anthony was really good as well against City, even though the game was gone, but he scored a terrific goal that came out of nowhere. I had to applaud that. That was a really good goal on his left foot. And it's a building block, it's a process, and I think Manchester United fans need to understand that. I think it's going to take Tim Hart. I think it's going to maybe take him 2 transfer windows to get him where he wants them to be. It took Arteta, you could arguably say, 2 transfer windows. So I think it's going to take the new Man United manager Ten Hag the similar thing. I think it's a process. I don't think it's a quick fix. I think it's going to take some time to, get Manchester United back to where they should be. I think as well there was talk of Rashford possibly joining Arsenal. Again, I think it might just be gossip, but because I think he's on his last contract, so that could be something that could be a concern for Manchester United because they want to tie him down. Because as others, especially in the top 4, are going to be after him, sniffing around him. I don't think City would have a chance. But, the Arsenals, the Chelseas, your Liverpools will be, looking to sign him up. I'll be, very surprised if, none of the top 4 teams will be looking around Rashford for someone with his quality. But yeah, that's all from the Big 6. Again, thank you for watching. Please do like and comment and subscribe if you're a new viewer, and look out for our next video. Take care now. Bye.